Try to stop me!
This is Kipo Village.
One night is 10 GP. Stay.
Hey, I'm sorry you had to see my dad and me get into a fight. Not my best moment. Though, now that I think about it, I've seen you look pretty lame yourself.
What do you mean?
Remember when those goblins were gonna slice you up and eat you for dinner? They took you down so easily.
Hey, I was ambushed, okay?
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Because a real swordsman would never be caught off guard by a simple goblin. Don't worry, I'll keep your secret. But in return, you have to help me. I'm counting on you.
Look, I already told you that I need to get to the underground palace.
And I told you this is a matter of life and death. We need to stop the witch in the north. Who knows what she might have done to Diluc and his men?
Well, when you put it that way...
If you won't go with me, I won't waste my time looking for your silly palace. You want to split ways here?
You were the one who decided to join me in the first place.
Quit splitting hairs.
Welcome. What'll it be? Anything else? Come again.
This is my home, and the missus is upstairs.
My husband's brothers all look alike. Sometimes...
Where are we? This place has nothing to do with dialogue. I want to go to Elena's castle in Haunted Forest. Got it?
Did you come from Gaia's navel? But that place is chock full of monsters. I saw some kid get swept away by floodwaters. By now, there's probably no hope for them.
Welcome, welcome. It's 50 GP per trip. What'll it be?
Try to stop me!
Thanks!
Meow. What a strange place to bump into each other. Special deal for busy travelers. I'll even save the game from you. Anything else? Anything else? Be seeing you.
We need something sharp, like an axe. Otherwise, we'll never get through.
There's supposed to be a dwarf blacksmith in Gaia's navel. He's probably got some good weapons. Fine, we can go to Gaia's navel first. No, not this.
Did you come from Gaia's navel? I saw some... Whoa! Ha! Yeah! Whoa!
One night is... Whoa!
Meow. What a strange place to bump into each other. Special deal for busy travelers. Anything else, BC?
No way!
This is Dwarf Village.
I can hear rumbling from somewhere even deeper underground than we are.
One night is 15 GP. Stay the night.
have to exercise your suspension of disbelief. Think of it like a contract. Just accept the premise the game hands to you, and in exchange, Atlas will weave a compelling story full of the themes of the inevitability of death and the meaning of life. Persona 3 is a dark and somber game from beginning to end, but it has the intention of showing the player that, to borrow a phrase from Aerosmith, the light at the end of the tunnel may be you. However, that message might just be at odds with the experience at times. If playing a game about angsty-looking teenagers shooting themselves in the head with toy guns doesn't already indicate you might need professional help, the frustrating unfairness of the gameplay will almost certainly guarantee that you will need it. Persona 3 commits 2 of what I consider to be the 7 deadly sins of RPGs. The first offense is that you can only issue commands directly to the main character during battle. Even though you may have a full party, because you can't control them, it often feels like you're fighting alone, and other people just happen to be fighting the same monster too, rather than working as a cohesive team. This problem is mitigated as the game progresses though, as you acquire new formations that you can assign to people that comes in handy, such as assigning the role of healing and supporting to one of your characters. However, the AI is kind of bad, so you really don't reliably know if that party member is going to heal you because your health is low, or cast a debuff skill on the enemy instead. This deadly sin is really exacerbated by another deadly sin. When the main character dies, it's game over. Even if you have a healer who can resurrect your character on the next turn, it's game over, sending you all the way back to the title screen. So, not only is death a distinct possibility in every single battle, but you're also punished heavily for your loss. Unlike earlier entries in the Persona series, you can only save at predetermined locations, back at your dorm, and at the base of Tartarus. If you die, any progress made while scaling Tartarus will be completely lost. Within Persona 3, you scale Tartarus, 262 floors of randomly generated dungeons with randomly dispersed loot, but predetermined boss floors and warp points. You're given approximately 1 year in-game to scale the tower and discover the game's mysteries. The tower consists of differently themed sections, but overall the changes between these sections are minimal, and as a result, conquering Tartarus feels rather repetitive. Not doing the game any favors is the heavy use of reskins and palette swaps of enemies as you ascend the tower. However, what enemies lack in diversity, the game really makes up for with the diversity of the personas that you're able to fuse and call upon, around 170 of them. Outside of the combat though is where I felt this game really did shine the brightest. In order to strengthen your ability to create personas, our hero establishes social links when he meets people. Nurturing those friendships through dating sim style mechanics will allow you to create stronger and more powerful personas for battle. Through these social interactions, you meet and come to better understand people from different walks of life, and even help some of them become better people or stronger versions of themselves. Some of these stories are quite moving, but some of the characters that you deal with are quite unlikable. But all in all, this is the other half of the game, and it can't and shouldn't be ignored. The progression of the plot and character subplots feel like you're a participant in a slice-of-life anime, which is going to be a huge plus to some while being a huge turnoff to others. Personally, I really enjoyed this aspect of the game as it gives the player a break from the grueling grind of Tartarus. You attend school, join school clubs, heck, there's even the obligatory school trip to an outdoor hot springs and a vacation to a mansion on the beach. They're so cliched and unnecessary that I can't help but love them for that reason. They perform double duty as both fan service for the players and an illustration for the strengthening of the bonds between your party members. It's through these excursions that you're really able to see how well these characters play off one another, making their struggles feel all the more important. Persona 3 is a very good-looking game. The interface feels modern and sleek, the character portraits are expressive and really accentuate the voice acting well. There is slowdown from time to time during the battles, but I only noticed that during a handful of times against a certain enemy within the game. Persona 3 FES includes some additional animated cutscenes, but I feel like these cutscenes were rather jarring. The animation style is at odds with the character portraits that you see more often, making the animations appear off-putting in addition to being low budget and low frame rate. Despite this, most of these cutscenes do still add something to the game's narrative, so you gotta give it credit for that. In addition to the great voice acting in Persona 3, your ears will also be treated to some J-pop, which ranges from slow and funky to upbeat and fast-paced and jazzy. It's not all J-pop though. As you progress through the game, you'll also hear some contemporary piano with some synthetic beats to help keep everything feeling nice and cohesive during even some of the more heartwarming or gut-wrenching moments of the game. Persona 3 FES was ported to the PSP with some additional adjustments. The biggest problem I had with this port was the removal of the navigation of the school and town in 3 dimensions, instead moving your cursor around over a pre-rendered background, not entirely unlike a point-and-click adventure. Something about this was just a huge turnoff to me, but they did add the ability to control all of your characters, and added the option to play as a female protagonist instead. It's hard to determine which of these releases is the, quote, definitive release, but I chose to play FES so that I could get the whole story. Clocking in at just over 90 hours, not including the time lost to game over titles, Persona 3 ensures that you won't be maxing any social links of your own anytime soon. But I haven't even played The Answer yet, the second 30-hour campaign included in Persona 3 FES, which was not present in Persona 3 Portable, by the way. You probably already know how I feel about endings though, so I'll review that second campaign next time on the Game Collection.
Lotion off, inside heart in my